wondered that what happened to Skyrim, what happened to Whiterun when the Great Fire started. No one knows who caused the Great Fire, but it happened. I will tell you the story of Sapphire's ancestors who were in that very fire. The fire had happened overnight. There weren't that many people surviving, to be honest. You had the occasional dark elf, and the occasional elf, but mainly Nords. There weren't any Khajiit around. Meaningfully, they might have all left with the Khajiit caravan. When they saw smoke and they smelt smoke. People say they left to Riverwood. People do not know that for sure. But there are more Khajiit in Riverwood than there are in Whiterun now. So this fire, it demolished everything, nearly everything in fact. So a few survivors, some who stayed outside, some who were kind of hiding in rock houses. But what damage did it do to the most? It was the wall. The wall had the most damage did to it. The wall had a lot of damage on it. The wall was really damaged. Most of it wasn't even there after the fire. Occasionally you'd see like these small things, like these small kind of places, but because due to the fact that Whiterun's palace was built right over a reservoir, when the fire hit the wall of the dam that was keeping the reservoir from spilling into the ocean, it spilt out. There was only one part that wasn't really watery. But like the only problem was that people who were stranded in the dragons capturing part were stranded. They would have been stranded, and my audio settings are way too high. There we go. So they would have been stranded until rescuers came. But mainly the people who survived and were found by rescuers, because the rescuers didn't know about the big room behind the throne. So the people who were stuck in that big room behind the throne, mainly guards, were probably starved at night. So that was a very dumb mistake. Then Sapphire the Sixth, who was the actual Sapphire who actually witnessed the fire, had an idea. She told the people of Whiterun, well, the remaining people of Whiterun, that we needed to rebuild, that we can't have sorrow in our hearts forever, mate. And that mate was actually in there, mate. Do you want to know why Sapphire says mate a lot? Because our ancestors did it, and the first Sapphire actually invented how they said mate. So yeah, mate. Basically, the speech goes on yada yada yada. Can't hold its sorrow forever. We only have a few remaining survivors. Let's make this count and let's populate Whiterun. But as the years went by, only 3 years went by. Well, actually, only 3 years went by. But 3 years went by. There was peace, and it was rebuilding well, except for the wall. The wall was a painstaking job. It didn't rebuild too well. People didn't know what the actual wall was made of and how it was flammable. Because the Jarl had been killed during the fire, they couldn't ask the Jarl. So, when they tried something that was similar to what they had in the wall, it would always fall down. Like cobble, it fell down. Brick, it fell down. Maybe they had lost the wall. But then, in that moment, they saw Stormcloaks. The Stormcloak Rebellion was closing in on them. People ran back into their homes. Some people unsheathed swords and tried to slash at the army that was coming towards them. But the Stormcloaks knew that Whitewood was weak. That it couldn't hold on much longer if we just sieged it. What they didn't know is that they were actually rebuilding quite nicely. Except for the wall, which they obviously did know just by seeing it. The wall was, after all, the wall that they tried to make a replica of fell down every time they tried to rebuild it. But then, in that moment, he came. Ballistic Squid. He came with the Stormcloaks. He used his shouts to slow down time and kill his enemies. And most people who didn't fight back either simply just didn't care, or they were hiding because they were afraid and they knew that Ballistic Squid was with the Stormcloaks, and they knew how powerful he was. They hid in stronger buildings. Buildings that were nearly impenetrable by spears. People tried to slash and hack at the stone, and they tried to set it alight. It didn't work. Even though the actual wall was down, they came. They didn't know how sturdy the buildings were. So once the buildings were known to be very sturdy, and Sapphire knew that they would try to cut off supplies, they all surrendered. I know it was pitiful, but they almost accepted Sapphire the Sixth in a weird way. Because even though most people were not really scared of her, because she was partially a Khajiit panda, because mystical pandas are actually Khajiits. If you do not know, because I made up that breed of Khajiit. But so, they didn't trust her. They thought she would have ran off with the Khajiit caravan. Just like a few people would do. But instead of not simply just outright killing her, he accepted her for some reason. It was a shady reason. Many more years went by. And then Sapphire the Sixth had a baby known as Sapphire the Seventh, also known as the Sapphire, who would later run the city of Sapphire. So yeah, that is literally just the backstory of the Fire of Whiterun. They don't know how it started. And when the Fire of Whiterun stopped, they rebuilt sturdy houses. So yeah, that's how it happened. I hope you enjoyed this little story about Whiterun. And I'll see you all next time. Goodbye!